Good evening, everyone. I'm Victor Fordham, and tonight we will be discussing the impact of Christianity on the American founding. Because historians must be dedicated to a reasoned and investigated reconstruction of primary sources, many aspects of this subject must be examined before arriving at any sort of conclusion. The influence of Christianity on the American founding is evident for a variety of reasons and from a variety of sources. Some of those are that many different religious groups were involved in the settling of North America. Also, many of the founding documents pay homage to the Creator, and because many of those laws in those aforementioned settlements were also religious in nature. So to begin with, many Christian groups were involved in the settling of America from its very beginnings. From our studies this week and from our lectures, we've learned that even Columbus's original journey to the Americas in 1492 was a time when he was interested in setting up a religious bulwark against the Turks who were threatening Europe. Also, when you consider the settling of North America, all kinds of groups we read in our studies and were told in our lectures came to North America. Some of these groups were Catholic, Moravians, French Huguenots, Anabaptists, and Pilgrims. Many of them were coming for religious refuge from mistreatment in the Old World. Massachusetts was founded by Puritans. Roger Williams founded Rhode Island as a place of religious toleration after being kicked out of Massachusetts. Pennsylvania was founded by William Penn, a member of the religiously tolerant Quaker faith. So as you can see, particularly in New England, the evidence of religious founding is overwhelming. A second piece of evidence of Christianity's influence on the American founding is that many of the laws of those aforementioned religious settlements in North America reflect not just a religious intent, but a firmly Christian society in those settlements. The Toleration Act in Maryland, for example, featured punishment for those who denied the divinity of Christ. There were also punishments in places like Massachusetts for people who missed services at church, for example, and sometimes many of those punishments, as our professor told us this week, could be very harsh. Also, it's worth mentioning that the Salem witch trials even occurred could be evidence, albeit of the negative and legalistic sort, of the high standards and expectation of Christian influence in New England as well. Lastly, homage is paid to the God of Christianity in the founding documents of those early settlers in the United States itself. For example, the Virginia Charter of 1606 mentions a colony established for the glory of God and even expresses interest in the conversion of the Native Americans. So there's an evangelistic aspect as well. The Massachusetts Charter also makes similar statements, and the Mayflower Compact uses a lot of religious language as well, including references to, quote, advancing the Christian faith, unquote. If one takes a closer look at the founding documents of the United States as well, the handiwork of a religious civilization is very clear as well. The Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson, takes the words endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. This was a clear admission from the founders that the rights of man come from God and not from government. So many documents show Christianity's influence on America's founding, including those of the settlements that came before America's founding as the United States. So as one can clearly see, there are many indicators of the influence of Christianity on the founding of America. Some of those are the religious settlements we've talked about, the religious laws of those societies that we mentioned, and the specific language of many of the founding documents of the settlements and even of the United States itself. Thank you very much for watching, and have a pleasant evening.